Now, let's shift gears a little bit and talk about pronost, our recent pronost. It was different than the other pronosts that we've had. It was about the world, as pronost is meant to be, but it was also about you. It was much more personal than the other pronosts. We needed to talk about where the world was going, about technology, about this whole new species of humans that's coming about. We needed to talk about the flow and the direction on the planet right now, where consciousness is, in order to get to the point where we talked about the dragon entering. In pronost, we said that the dragon enters not only the planet right now, but it enters into your life as well, with a very, very different effect that it has on the rest of the planet. But the dragon enters, it comes in. The dragon is something that probably touched more Shambhala than anything else in a long time. The symbolisms of the dragon, the affinity, the closeness to the dragon, touched Shambhala all around the world, and so many of you had your personal stories about the dragon coming in, about your past with the dragon. So in pronost, we talked about the dragon entering now. And the role of the dragon is to, in your personal life, is to really clear a lot of the old guilt and shame. Guilt and shame from other lifetimes, but in this lifetime as well. Guilt and shame that simply cannot be brought with you into realization. It can't. We talk at great lengths about this and have many experiences about this in the Threshold event. You can't bring guilt and shame with you into realization, and some have tried and it just chews them out, chews them up, spits them out, in something actually much more brutal than even going through the wall of fire eons of time ago. You can't bring that guilt and shame with you. The dragon also goes in and finds out where the lies are, where the lies and the distortion. And you see, if you really feel into it for a moment, the biggest generator, generator of lies is guilt and shame. People build their lies around their guilt and shame. You could almost say the original lies were all about the shame, and perhaps even the shame of being human. And that's kind of where lies started. When one is feeling terribly guilty and shameful, they'll lie to themselves. And then they'll lie to others, and they create distortions of reality, distortions of truth. Now, it's not that that is necessarily bad, but what you have now is many different layers of perception occurring and sometimes battling with each other. You create a lie, there was still the original, let's call it the truth, that's there, and that continues to go on. But now you have the lie story. So you have two stories kind of opposing each other, contradicting each other, unfolding. And then you add more lies on top of that and more lies on top of that. One thing after the other, and pretty soon you've got an old human ego that's based on many different stories, oftentimes about the very same thing, but based on distortions or lies that are occurring. And you can just feel right now perhaps what's happening. You have all these stories, some based on deliberate lies, some based on kind of semi-unconscious lies, but you have all these going on at the same time, and you're trying to find truth, because that's what somebody who is becoming more conscious does. They try to find truth. It's something very deep and compelling within people as they come to consciousness. You know, I've said to you that it's been a very difficult journey in many respects. Very difficult. And through all the trials and tribulations, at the times you wanted to give up, at the times you wanted to just hide in the sand, there was something that brought you through, something that carried you to this point. That's the knowingness. It's a word I've talked about quite a bit, the knowingness. There's just that deep inner knowingness somewhere. You can't rationalize it in your mind. You can't justify it. You can't necessarily map it out, but it's an internal knowingness. And you would have said that, well, it's just, I know there's more. How about this? I know there is my truth. I know there is my truth. It's there somewhere. I can feel it. It's there. In my quiet moments, I can feel it. That's something, that knowingness is the knowingness of truth within. And what happens is, as the dragon enters into your life, it goes after those things that are keeping you from your truth, from feeling it. In the next 2 months, more like 45 days, you're going to have some experiences in your life that you've called for. Kind of like you came here, you called for this. And you're all going to have an experience, not like with this, but you're going to have something in your life that comes along. And let's just say that the dragon is helping to facilitate it, and it's not to do you any harm whatsoever. But it's gonna bring up some scares, some fears, some things in you. The only purpose that it's there for is for you to now go beyond the mind. And in doing so, you're going to feel like you're going to go crazy, like you're free-falling, and you don't know if you're going to hit the ground or learn to fly. You're going to have some very strange experiences. I'm not doing it. The dragon's not doing it. You're doing it in your life. It was very important, our talk today, to warm everybody up for what comes next in your life. You know how sometimes you're feeling like you're losing it. You're losing all sense of reality. Everything becomes disoriented. You might even take it on physically in your body, which a lot of you do. You know how sometimes you just feel that you're losing grasp of everything, and what you do, because you're very strong, you hold on even more so. Don't this time. It's going to be very scary for some of you. Don't hold on. Don't try to get yourself back in the box. Don't use blue affirmations. In other words, don't try to get back into 3D, back into your brain. This experience that comes along is something you could say the master has masterfully planned for you, wisely planned for you, to help you break out of the mind. The mind is a very tough thing, and you help to program it. And the mind is a very limited thing. It'll tell you everything is good when underneath you know it's not. And it'll get you to put everything off until tomorrow, if it possibly can. So what comes along in the next, I'm going to say 45, maybe 60 days, in your life is going to, it's all going to be different experiences for all of you. And don't tell me, any of you, or don't even dare post something on social media that you went through this last week or the month before, because that is absolute macchio. That it's you trying to get a spotlight when this isn't about spotlights. None of you have gone through this yet. And I've helped to make sure that it hasn't happened as of yet. The next 45 to 60 days, something that comes along, and it could be the strangest dream you've ever had that just turns you inside out. It could be an outside experience, maybe a health situation, maybe all of a sudden, just suddenly everything, you feel like the carpet is pulled out from underneath you. This time, don't hang on. Let it happen. And remember what I said before, wisdom overshadows strength. And remember that for when this thing comes along in your life. It's not an outside force, although it's going to appear to be. It's not there to do you any damage or harm whatsoever, although the human is going to think of it that way. It's there to help you break free. Break free of the very mind that you helped program a while back. Let's take a good deep breath with that. And Merlin's greatest companion is the dragon. The Merlin and the dragon, feel it for a moment. They are true companions to each other and ultimately to you. The dragon has no energy. The dragon has no body. The dragon has no destination. The dragon is but one thing, and it is clarity. The dragon brings in clarity, and this very clarity is what most humans resist. They don't want to see that clearly. They want to hide. They want to cover things up. They want to live in illusions upon illusions upon illusions. So most resist the dragon. Many have called the dragon and Merlin the evil ones, the sons and the daughters of Satan itself, because there are so many on this planet who live in fear and hold on to that fear, who resist the clarity of who they really are. So what do? Instead of allowing clarity, they call it the devil itself. And perhaps at times it feels like that because the clarity can be so harsh and so overwhelming. But you are ready for the clarity that comes with the dragon, the companion of the Merlin. It comes a time now for you to have new vision. Instead of just the vision of your eyes, and sometimes the vision of your thoughts and imagination, it's time for you to have the vision of the dragon. It is an inner-looking vision. Eventually, it'll go outside as well, but initially the vision is all inner-looking. It's to look at yourself in the greatest, clearest way, and at times it will be disturbing. At times you will see things about yourself. You will see your own fears. You will see parts of your own past. You will see things that initially you may consider to be ugly, fearful, distasteful, but with the eyes of the dragon, with the new vision of the dragon that you have, allow yourself to go beyond. Don't run. Allow your vision to go through and beyond, because beyond the perception of what may be uncomfortable to the human, beyond that is the greatest gift of all, the understanding of who you really are. With your dragon vision, you look past the facades and the agonies and the worries and the heartaches. You look past all of these things, even the things that you loathe about yourself. With the vision of the dragon, you will see beyond that, and you will come to see who you truly are. Let's take this moment now to accept and allow the dragon vision into your own eyes. Take a deep breath, for now comes dragon vision. Not to be used on the outside, not to penetrate and probe and peer into other people's lives, but to look at yourself. A new way of perceiving who you are, this dragon vision. In this gathering, we bring forth the beauty of Merlin with all its wisdom, the clarity of its companion, the dragon, And we bring that dragon vision now into your eyes, into your mind, into your heart, so that you may see who you truly are. Be afraid of nothing that you see. Be afraid of nothing that you see. Because what you initially perceive is probably not the real truth. Look deeper and deeper rather than running away. Look deeper and deeper, and you will come to see who you are. So now you bring in the Merlin into yourself, the wisdom, what we've called up to now the master. You bring that into yourself. And you bring the dragon vision into yourself. The dragon is not energy, and the dragon will not do it for you. The dragon has no form. The dragon has no agenda. The dragon is not your pet. The dragon is your vision. The dragon is not going to go out and do things for you and make things happen, but allow the clear vision, become the clear vision when things are foggy, when the picture is unclear, when the old human self becomes fearful. Let yourself become the dragon vision into your own life, your own realization and awakening.